They came from Amazon. I just cracked open, and in it I have some audio recording gear for the studio here. The audio box USB by PreSonus. And the other thing I got by PV, awesome company, is the professional and portable USB-P. And that should allow me to take my USB Yeti and transfer it to an XLR. It's kind of hard to see there on the back of the box, which is analog. So it's digital to analog converter to plug in to the front of the PreSonus, so I can have my mic through that and not using a USB port on the computer. And then have all the MIDI and everything else hooked up into the PreSonus audio interface with one USB to the computer instead of having 3 or 4 USB cables. So now I hope this is going to work, because that PV device says Windows drivers. That scares me. I do not use Windows. I am on a Mac. And we'll give it a test out, and if it doesn't work, okay Amazon, it'll come back. Anyway, hopefully it's going to work. Keep your fingers crossed. It turned out that this device here that I got, the USB-P, does not do the job that I thought it would do. It has the USB input and has the 2 XLR outputs. So you would go from digital to analog. Now, it was originally designed to have an output off a USB from computer, laptop, or whatever, and have it convert to XLRs, so you could go analog to your amplifiers for your audio, for like DJ use or presentation or something like that. So that's the intended use for it. However, my purpose, I wanted it to come from the Yeti microphone, go into this, come out of that, and go into the PreSonus preamp. Now, having said that, there's one problem. There's no power to it. The mic needs power. This unit needs power off the USB line. Well, coming off the mic, there is no power. The mic gets the power from the computer. So, I contacted PV, and basically what I want to do with it cannot be done. I saw this on a forum suggesting that it could be done. But it cannot be, because everyone's forgetting the fact that it does need a power rail of 5 volts to run for the USB, and that's where it gets its power for this box as well as the microphone. So we're kind of defeating the purpose. Anyway, there is a workaround to have 2 audio inputs into your DAW, and I figured that out, so I'll show you that and incorporate it into this video at the end of this. So that about sums it up. I mean, they said I probably could make a phantom power and put into it, like splice into the USB lines, but that being said, may or may not work, and I just don't want to tempt fate and try something and watch it go up in smoke. So we're just going to send it back.
Okay, so you want to get more than one input into your digital audio workstation, your DAW. And most software only will let you input one source. So I had the problem of getting 2 sources into one, in my Yeti microphone and my PreSonus USB audio box. So there is a workaround for the Mac on how to do that. Let me show you how. First off, press F4. That will bring up, I don't want to go quite into other yet, the screen here, your apps, and then go over here to other, click into other. When you're into other, look up your audio MIDI setup. That's what you want to get into, right here, audio MIDI setup. So let's click on that. That'll bring up this other box. So I already have it set up here as Fred's main recording device, but I'll go through it step by step with you. So basically what we want to create is what they call aggregate device. So we're tricking the Mac into thinking that it has only one input in its software, when in actuality it can have many. So let's go ahead, create aggregate device. Now you'll see it creates it here, and a list of all your devices that's connected via USB on the right. So first off, we want to make our PreSonus box number 1, so we'll click that, and the Yeti microphone is number 2. This means that your sub-devices up here will show as audio box number 1 and microphone number 2. Now if you make a mistake, it's no big deal. You can uncheck them and redo them, or you can just drag them and drop them and they'll switch around type of thing. You have channels 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for input and output. So your audio box will run on channels 1 and 2, and your microphone will run on channels 3 and 4. Okay? Now, you'll see off to the right, actually I don't have to expand that, it says drift correction. And the Yeti is the one that has the check marks next to it. So basically, what's happening here is your audio box is your main clock source. And what they mean by that is, it's the one that's got the main control of the input. So your Yeti will be second in line to the audio box. So sometimes you'll have maybe a very slight delay coming off your Yeti. So if you're recording the guitar and singing along with it, you could have a very, very slight delay. So if you click on the drift control, the drift correction, it will tighten that up so that you won't have such a delay in between. Okay, you can also go in and configure your speakers here for it as well. Make sure your clock source is set up top for audio box USB, because that's your first one, and your sample rate is 44,000, because that's generally, well, all you really need for this. When you're done, that's it. That's as simple as it is. Now the next step to that is we'll just close out of that, because we don't really need that. And it doesn't matter what it's set to here. Okay, so that was in your audio devices. Okay, under your MIDI setup. Now I'm just going to go ahead and open GarageBand here. And I'm going to show you that in fact you can have them open. Right now I'm recording with just the Yeti microphone and not the audio box. Okay, we're just going to choose hip hop. It doesn't really matter what it is, because this is just an example here I want to show you. We're going to drag GarageBand down here so you can see this a little bit better. So what we want to do is just basically go in and set it up first. So we're going to go up to, which is not on the screen here, GarageBand up in the corner by your Apple symbol, hit Preferences. Once you're into Preferences, this window will come up here. Now, right off the bat, Audio MIDI. Go into there. Make sure your input device is set for Fred's main recording device, but whatever you name it, and we call it aggregate device is the one we just created. Okay, it's initializing everything there, and this way you will not have to switch your input every time you go to create something. Okay, so okay, so now that part is done. Let's go just to the sweeping art and record something. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the MIDI controller of my keyboard first off, okay? Just something simple so you know. Okay. That was done with the MIDI through the audio box. Now, let's just say I want to add my voice in there. Okay, so we're going to go new track, and we're going to put audio, and it's on. Your input is on channels 3 and 4, so that's what you want. You want to have it like that. So we'll go create. Click on that, and we will go record. And I am talking, and I am singing, and I'm doing whatever, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you see right there the waveform is coming up from my Yeti. Okay. Now the thing is, you can only record one track at a time, but that's okay because you don't have to keep switching back and forth. You just record track after track after track is what you would normally do anyway. If you were going to do multiple things at once, well, that makes things a little bit more difficult. However, this is to show you how to hook up multiple devices so you have multiple inputs and you only have to set it once in your workstation. Okay, so we'll just go back here. We'll play it so you can test 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you see right there the waveform is coming up from my Yeti. Okay, now let's do one more thing because I want to show you that we're going to have a new track. We're going to call it a well, let's call it the instrument. Just keep it separate here, okay? So we're going to call it guitar. It's not really guitar. We're going to play the keyboard. But it could be a guitar. It could be anything off your 2/4 inches or your XLRs in the front. This is going to come off a 1/4 inch because this is what I have it hooked up as right now. So let's go ahead, click record, and we're just going to play a few keys just to give you the idea, okay? Test 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you see right there the waveform is coming up from my Yeti. Okay. Now we'll just go back, play this section so you can see. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you see right there the waveform is coming up from. I'm just going to stop it right there for a second, and I want to really tune this one up here, the volume. I want to jack them up so you can hear them. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you see right there the waveform is coming up from my Yeti. Okay. I'm going to just mute those and show you that it actually did record the 1/4 inch audio. Okay, so therefore we only have, so as it's set up, we have one setting only in GarageBand to say that the input is the aggregate device, and the aggregate device is created by having the multiple inputs. So we can have everything hooked up at once, and it works. I tried to do it along the way around with hardware, so I could have only one USB input, so I could have the one input into the program. However, that didn't work. That was a failure. This is a shortcut. It's a workaround, but it's an easy workaround. I hope it helps you out. Yes, you might have 1 or 2 USB inputs into your computer. Yeah, so that's my little Mac hack for today. Like I said, hope it helps you out some. And if you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll certainly get back to you about them.